How can you explain the complicated parts of your project without confusing everyone in the audience? This is something that I believe everyone asks themselves, at least at some point, when we are working on things that are so complex and so abstract, and then you're like, okay, if I really start talking the same way I have it in my head, those people are not going to understand anything. So how can we actually sort that out and make sure that people who are listening to us understand the vast majority of what we are talking, or at least just some parts, at least get a sense of what is it that we are working on? So what typically happens is that in this attempt to showcase their work and explain their work thoroughly, STEM professionals make a crucial mistake, which is explaining everything, giving everything to the people, like every single detail, every single function, every single line of code, explaining literally every single part. And this doesn't work because people are bored when they do not see the point of what you're explaining, and it's very hard to see the point of things that are so complex and more often than not outside of their own expertise. They just simply stop listening. They could not care less about all of those things. However, what actually does work is connecting your work to something they care about. And to do this, you need to sort of develop this skill of understanding what is it that my audience needs to hear. Who are they in the first place? What is their expertise? What is their background? And most importantly, what is the one problem they want to solve? Because when you identify that, you can sort of streamline your entire work into that direction and towards what they are interested in. Because what definitely doesn't work is this part of explaining every detail and creating interest, right? This is very, very hard, and it is, in my opinion, very time consuming to do the heavy lifting when we have this shortcut of finding actually what is it that they care about and then streamline our work in that direction. So that, first of all, we do not need to generate interest because we are already talking about something they are interested in, which is their solution. And secondly, we sort of get this fast track to the best possible solution for them. And then it is our job to find a way to fit this complex, abstract mess of data into something they care about and they are able to actually understand, and consequently then really listen to us and ask questions and interact, and most importantly also value our work, which is, I would say, the most important part of it, because you did the job, you did the great job, brilliant work as STEM professionals tend to do, and then when it's time to get that work shown and showcased, people are like, but what is it that you're actually doing? And this is exactly what we're trying to avoid. So to do that, we have to find that thing that they care about, that problem they're having, and make sure that we are explaining how our work either solves the problem or can help them with the problem in some way, or can make their life easier in whatever way we can think of. And doing this is actually a skill that requires practice. But once you are able to sort of have this laser focused answer to what is it that your audience needs to hear, everything else becomes much easier. Because first of all, you do not spend time and hours or days in preparing your talks, your presentations, your reports. And secondly, it's not stressful, right? Because they are able to understand you, you know that they are able to understand you, and as a consequence of that, they are able to value your work and see how brilliant it actually is. So if you're interested in training that skill, in really understanding how you can get better at this other part of your job. The first one is, of course, the technical expertise and the technical knowledge, and the second one is getting that technical knowledge across in a way that gets your work recognized for its own brilliance and how great it is. If you want to do that, I will leave a link down below in the description where you can schedule a completely free introductory session with me where we can talk about exactly that. What are your struggles, your challenges when it comes to making sure that your point comes across, making sure that your brilliant work is seen by the people who are the important ones and the people who are actually going to get you the funding, the promotion, and so on, and see, of course, if we are a good fit to work together. I hope you found this video useful, and as always, see you in a few days with another video. Bye bye.